And you have just been so instrumental in the crowds. People have been listening to you. A lot of people saying the governor, from the governor to the mayor to even police, that you have been so instrumental in helping people deal through this. What has been your message to the crowds?
You know, Chris, honestly, it's the young people, Chris. I don't take no credit. It's the spirit and of George Floyd and Stephon Clark, of course. But at the end of the day, it's these young people. These young people are fed up. They're tired. They want some justice. They want true change. They want tougher, more comprehensive and effective laws implemented, not just here in California, but national, nationwide. They also, you know, they know what they want. They have a list of demands. And what I'm just there to be is the rhythm. I'm just the rhythm of the people. I'm with the people and just being a voice and a vessel for my brother Stephon Clark, of course, and just being next to everybody standing in solidarity, but trying to get organized. Because I believe that, I truly believe that if you can stand in solidarity and not be organized, then, you know, we can't achieve the mission. You know, the vision we're trying to achieve cannot get done. But if we are standing in solidarity and we are organized, I think we could really be getting things done, not just here in California, but nationwide.
And that's been your message, that you'd like to see some of the police reforms that we saw here in California go nationwide.
Yes, because it's such a shame that our chief, number one, has not fired those killer cops, but number two, he hasn't implemented AB 390, Stephon Clark's law into the Sacramento Police Department. So, you know, we need police departments to adopt Stephon Clark law, not just here in California, but especially here in Sacramento, because this is the city that killed him. He died in Sacramento, and it sends a message of weak leadership when the law implemented under my brother's name won't be enacted into our police department. It takes so long for that to happen. It sends a message that weak leadership is over our city, and our elected officials are very weak when it comes to fighting for true accountability for law enforcement.
Well, and one of the things that we were hearing, you know, you hear you're losing your voice because you've been out speaking so much and trying to...
Sorry, Chris.
But that just goes to show the work that you've been doing, right? And one thing I was reading, you were saying that you've kind of got the scars to show that this takes work.
Yeah, these 2 years you see me throwing events, going out there trying to bridge the gap, attending the Congressional Black Caucus in D.C. with our Chief Daniel. You see me trying to put the work in, and I'm going to continue to put the work in any way, shape, or form that I can to be a vessel and a voice for my brother. But yeah, I went through a lot, you know, being ostracized, being talked about, being in jail, being in mental institutions, being kicked out of people's social clubs, you know. I paid a price for this agenda, and it's a price that I wouldn't wish on the shoes of my worst enemy. But I do believe that this price was paid so that the name of Stephon Clark could live for generations after you and I have left this earth.
And that is one of the reasons I think it's so powerful that you're here with us now talking about this. What are some of the things that you think we need to see, not just here, but across the country?
We need organization. We need to mobilize. We need to strategize. We need to weaponize. And when I say weaponize, I'm not talking about weapons and guns and things like that. I'm talking we need to arm ourselves with knowledge, because knowledge is power, and we have to become intellectually independent. And knowledge, our brain, could be used as a weapon to fight the oppressor. We don't have to use military gear and armors and tanks and all that. We could fight with here and this. And I think if we invest in our children when it comes to resource centers, when it comes to de-escalation tactical teams, when it comes to cleanup crews around the city, when it comes to providing for our people as one, because there's not black and white, there's the human race, doesn't matter what, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, but it's about the person you elect, We need to quit putting politics over people, get back to putting people over politics, and quit looking at skin color and focus on the human race. Until everybody loves everybody, people will continue to get killed, people will continue to get slaughtered, it will camera. Mothers will keep mourning their sons, and fathers will have to leave their children too early and not be able to walk their daughters down the aisle, like you see the case of George Floyd. This little girl will never get to have her daughter, her father walk her down the aisle. That's sad. That's sad. That breaks my heart, man. Breaks my heart, Chris.
And here we are. We have again Reverend Sharpton doing a eulogy for someone. He was here doing the eulogy for your brother. What does it mean that we keep having this? It's like we're on repeat for you.
Yeah, I hope and pray nobody has to call out Sharpton one day. I hope and pray you don't have to talk to Al Sharpton one day, because this fight, as you see, it's not something that's new. The reason you see so much rioting and unrest across the nation is because this isn't our first rodeo, Chris. We're not mad. No, we're not mad because dogs are mad. Anger, there's power in anger, but we're not mad. We're exhausted, Chris. We're exhausted. We're exhausted, And it's not just the black community. It's the LGBTQ community. It's the Latino community, those immigrants, our immigrant community. A lot of communities are feeling like they're being neglected, and they don't matter. And they feel like this administration, this Trump administration, is feeding and fueling that negative fire. And Chris, my heart breaks. There's so many people that we have to fight for, but my heart breaks right now because of the funeral that I seen live. My heart breaks for the family of George Floyd. Like, my heart breaks for that family. That poor man lost his mother 2 years ago, and as he was getting assassinated, he was calling for his mother. So my heart breaks.
It is
for the family of George Floyd, but at the same time, it warms my heart to know that he's with his mama now. He'll be okay. His mama got him now.
Just one last question. I know you've been meeting with the governor. We saw your FaceTime and things of that nature. What have you been saying to them? What was your message?
My message to the governor, was, let me just say this. The governor seen my message on Instagram about me organizing cleanup, and he was out there before I was, actually. My team and some team called me and told me he was out there. So I said, wait, let his ass stay. I don't want to come. I organized it. I'm able to come when I want to come. And he stayed. I didn't expect him to stay. I did a whole interview with the LA Times and Spectrum News and all different types of people. And when I went down there, he was still there, cleaning up, and he was messed up. He was dirty. He was cleaning. He was really cleaning. And they gave him reports that he was cleaning. So I seen him up there. I talked to him a little bit, asked him why he was out here. And all I can say is the governor is a tremendous leader. He is a man of integrity. He's just a great man. I love our governor. I don't say I love elected officials that much, but I love everybody. That's what I do say. But when it comes to elected officials that I know who are really there for the people, for their fights, the rights, and the causes of the people in the underdeveloped, underrepresented, and at-risk communities, we could not have a better governor than Gov Newsom. We are blessed to have Gov Newsom as our governor because he stands with the people. He stands in solidarity, and he's for what's right. And Gov Newsom knows, and he will tell you too, Chris, that if Stephon or George Floyd looked like him and lived in his community, in his background, in his neighborhood, they'd still be alive today. They would still be alive today. And I know for a fact, if Stephon looked like Gov Newsom, I know for a fact that if my brother looked like Gov Newsom and lived in the community that Gov Newsom came from, he would be alive today. I know that for a fact. It's something that our kids in our community have become damn target practice. I'm sorry, excuse my French, have become target practice, and we're just sick of it.